Audio's good. So many implications.
Oh, I think we're good now. If someone in chat can confirm.
Okay, I think we should be good.
Sounds good.
Okay, I think what happened was the classic OBS, when you update it, it destroys all of your presets.
Oh, yep, I just had that. I just had to go through that, actually.
And this is, I'm using regular OBS, and I usually use Streamlabs OBS, so I don't touch this unless we're doing one of these events. All right. Saying what I said before. I'm Merle. Asuki is here. Baylor and Abzi are also here. And Abzi is going to do a take two on the intro and explaining the format and everything. Sorry about that little hiccup there.
Yeah, thanks for being patient with us, guys. It's take two, but guess what? We're still excited because it's still a big event. This is a follow-up from the big Merlathon. It's our bonus day. It's our treat for meeting our 2,500 goal, which was split between VM Service and Terrence, our champions from the main event. This time is going to be a little different here. We're doing set seed. We've handpicked some seeds from hell to make our players suffer because we just got one game. So we want to see some losses, but guess what? It's going to be winnable. It's going to be realistic still, of course. Yeah, so set seed means that all players, they're going to see all the same things, more or less. There's some things that are more sort of set in stone. I could sort of, here, let me draw some of it out here, because we got things like boss relics and the first few card awards from the same seed. You're kind of going to expect to see a lot of the same cards. So we got boss relics. Those are going to be the same. We got first card awards. What else we got? We got a lot of the same encounters. So we're talking like at hallways, which are just the regular fights. Hallways, elites.
Yeah, first elite's always the same.
Oh yeah, and the bosses. That's big.
What about potions?
Peter also comments Niao choices shared.
Oh yeah, that's the big one. Yeah, that's always the best place to compare because everyone's sort of working off the same stuff from there, and then things kind of
the first abstract. Point of divergence for the run.
Yeah, that's huge. And things that won't be affected, we're looking at like further cards. Like Baylor suggested, potions can go out of sync. It's a bit less likely. Potions. And just like card generation, like things like from like an attack potion. It's actually what I learned is that it's tied to the floor. So no matter like how many events one player goes versus another, like if you're opening an attack pot on floor 6, it's always the same as someone else opening it on floor 6. So basically, there's gonna be a lot of similarities, so we could really compare who's the best. But of course, it's gonna be polarizing. The game's pretty random. So there could be some big upsets. There's a lot of room for crazy things to happen.
I'm curious what the earliest death that we're going to see is, like in terms of floor count for a player during the event today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can kind of chime in on the seeds a little bit. I think that hopefully we shouldn't have anyone dying before Act 1 boss. I think Act 1 boss would be like the earliest that anybody would realistically die. Act 2 should be very difficult, but hopefully we will not have any deaths before Act 1 boss. It's definitely possible, but I tested a lot of routes on these seeds, and I was just kind of clicking through, and I think the earliest that I died was Act 1 boss. So I think we should be okay, but you never know. You never know. Anything can happen.
Yes, indeed. Spire is a game of combinatoric explosions, and sometimes those result in really unfavorable outcomes for the player.
Yep. Anything else anyone wants to say on seeds? Yeah, I'll move on. So I also just wanted to welcome everybody. We got the VOD viewers, we got the chat, of course, and also just all the new players. I think it's pretty huge that with all this hype of Spire 2 coming out, we reached a new cap of concurrent players. Because before we were kind of sitting at like 15, maybe like 20,000. But now in December we hit, what did we hit? It was like 56,000.
Wow.
Oh my God, Aspire 2 on the
Yeah.
horizon.
Always a good sign when an old game gets a new peak in concurrent players on Steam.
Yeah, without any updates, we don't need those content drips. You know, the game continues to evolve and be discovered. Oh yeah, now I figured since we got a bunch of time, since we're starting at 4 EST, so we're gonna be starting in 15 minutes, and that's gonna be with the Ironclad game first. Ironclad up at 4 EST, and we're doing Defect next, and Silent is going last. There's been no Watcher today. Maybe it'll be partially, I guess, because Silent or Watcher runs, people are optimizing the hell out of that. So, you know, if everyone wins, which would be more likely.
It was more just a time constraints thing, to be honest. If these are really tough seeds, so we wanted to make sure to give everyone enough time to sink their teeth into them. And
Definitely.
that means the day is already running for what, like 9 hours or something straight. So throwing Watcher in the mix would have just been a very, very long event. But there's definitely some rough Watcher seeds out there. They exist. They're not common, but they do exist.
Oh yeah, they definitely exist. Did you know that you can get Judgment offered to you in 3 consecutive card rewards in Act 1? Because I found that out the hard way this week. It was
Yeah, but then you have 3 judgments in your deck and you're clearly winning. Like, what?
That's what I told Hexaghost, but that he had other plans.
You're telling me triple judgment isn't good against Hexa? That's crazy.
It was not actually. One of my earliest core memories actually is taking 4 footworks in Act 1, feeling like I was invincible. I was like, this is an S tier card. I'm gonna win the run now. And then Hexaghost just killed me so dead. I didn't even come close to killing Hexaghost with 4 footworks in my deck. And that's when I realized that like Spire was about context.
Yeah, I remember one of my earliest Spire memories. I was playing with like a group of friends that I played other games with, and we were posing the question like, how many footworks is too many footworks?
The answer is 4 footworks in Act 1 against Hexaghost. I can promise you that is. Oh wait. Yeah, that I can promise that is the answer.
I figured I'll also take time to just introduce all the players. First of all, I was going for Ironclad here. This will be my specialty. I will be commentating that with me and Baylor Lord here, the duo. Let's pull up my my list of players here. We got a good roster here. We got the champ from last Merlathon. It's
Terrence MHS, right?
Terrence. Oh yeah, we got Terrence. Terrence, the old guard. He's been around for a while. He's holding some streaks back in 2021. He had that rotating 13. That was the record at the time. His defect on 11. He's used to be a Hearthstone player, and I believe now professionally he's a data analyst. And next we got J-Mac, the Dark Horse. He's relatively newer, but with like early on in his streaming career, he had a pretty decent Ironclad streak from what I recall. I think it was about 15 or so. And so he's the Dark Horse.
That's a pretty good streak.
Oh yeah.
He had a
old
longer
guard.
one recently as well. What did it get to? Like 19 or something?
19 is a very good streak.
I'm seeing 18 from my notes here.
18. Or misremembering. Still, high teens. Very, very impressive.
19 good, 18 complete garbage, obviously.
True. And we also got Panacea. He's our last player. He's one of the greats. I love him. He's a bit experimental. I would call him like an independent thinker. Panacea. He was also a Hearthstone player too. He wrote a very famous Ironclad guide. He was an ex-world record holder, and you know, he's famous for picking those dense attacks like Immolate from Meow over like Fiendfire and things. He was brave enough to, speak his truth. And that's like super real. He was putting in some work for this competition. He was literally just playing games and picking the worst boss relic on every screen, which I think is good practice. I'm curious how each of the players are going to approach this differently from a regular spy run, with sort of the foresight of it being a hard run, and sort of like who this could sort of unbalance the odds for, who could get a advantage. What do you think, everybody?
I'm hoping that we get a good show one way or the other. Whether it's a shared victory for all the players or everyone kind of gets their butt kicked. I hope it's interesting to watch either way. What is going on?
Oh, I'm sure it will. And then after we're done Ironclad, we're going to Defect. We got the three greats. We got Japanese Export. Let's erase this off. A Japanese Export. He used to play League of Legends pretty competitively. We'll go blue for Defect here. Japanese Export, aka Japanese Import, aka Jason, aka Michael, aka Jimport, aka Zeknar's disciple. He's been around the block. He's a very talented individual. He's worked on a big League of Legends channel called Skill Capped. He makes music, including part of the group The Silkies. I think he does keys, and he also does like some freelance sort of stuff from my understanding. All that at a young 28 years old. He's accomplished a lot. But he's been following Zeknar. Zeknar's got to take him under his wing. Zeknar being the great and
The GOAT.
yeah, pretty undisputed. The GOAT, yeah, for sure.
And he's played League, so he's no stranger to suffering.
Exactly. And next is Proven. Proven is a sweetheart. He's a charismatic streamer. He recently got a 10 streak on Defect, and he's there's a bit of a grudge match here because our next competitor, Nikki. I've been hearing that Nikki wants a Kroven to beat Japanese Export. It's kind of rooting for the underdog, and you know what? It could happen because anything could happen. It's one game, and it only takes one mistake for someone to spiral down. We'll see. What do you guys think, chat and commentators? Do we have any predictions on the Defect run?
This time I am biased. I want to see Japanese Export win.
Yeah, me too. Hell yeah. He's got such a comfy stream. I always like listening to the music in his playlist. Some nice indie stuff that makes it hard to click away.
The one thing I will say about the Defect seed is I hope that the players don't get lulled into a false sense of security.
Lulled.
Ooh.
Spoilers, what the heck?
Are the players allowed to be listening to the intros? Just out of curiosity.
No spoilers here.
Okay.
Not a little bit was one, but we'll see. See how it goes.
Yeah. They could get a little threat, I suppose.
I mean, what could that mean? Who knows?
Ooh, yeah. Pretty mysterious. And next, we have the silent game. I think that's at 11 EST here, with Bookshelf, Kuro, and One Pun Man. Now, Bookshelf, he's someone with he's very beloved He's young, but he's sort of beloved among among a lot of the best players. He's got like a sarcastic wit. It's and he got a 32 streak on Watcher, or so I believe somewhere around there. I think maybe Jack can
30,
confirm
30 is
for us.
a pretty big freaking streak, I gotta say.
Yeah, and we got Crow next. I think Crow's like he's kind of one of the greatest, you know. He's
One of the OGs of silent play, definitely.
yeah, been around the block. He's got over a 20 rotating, and yeah, silent specialist. His defect kind of like goes crazy though too, I will say.
Kuro is probably the best player that the vast majority of the community doesn't know about. I mean, a lot of people in the like really in certain parts of the Slay the Spire Twitch community, a lot of people know Kuro, but like if you go on Reddit and you go, Kuro, people are gonna be like, who is that? But he's very, very, very good.
Absolutely.
I think
And
perhaps on the shy side. Yeah, I think Kuro at one point set a new world record for silent. They actually asked me not to credit them on my bot command for that because they didn't want too much attention at the time to the live streams.
Interesting. And I'll also mention our last silent player, One Pun Man, aka Opum. Oh man, he's one of our oceanic players. He got a 71 world record, and he's had some pretty good samples too in the past.
That 71 record is redonkulous.
Oh my goodness, yeah. In terms of just knowledge and also just you know, like perseverance, like pushing through that. He's got a
Being
strong
able to play
yeah.
71 Watcher runs in a row without going completely insane.
Yeah, being able to play Watcher, yeah. I like that. And yeah, lastly, I'll go over some of the current records, actually, I guess while we're on that topic. That's probably a good idea here. So currently, so these are for Ironclad. This is for Silent. This is for Defect. And this is for Watcher. Oh, we also got rotating here at 30. I believe it's ongoing by this one's Knave Greed. And
Not ongoing anymore, but still a fantastic streak.
Oh my goodness, it's horrible news. But yeah, I'm impressed. Yeah, so exactly 30.
Wait, did Zeknar's Clad run streak end?
No, that one is still going.
Oh, I see. Cool. Yes, 32 ongoing.
Maybe that's the ongoing one.
That's the ongoing one. Yeah, 32 at the top.
Yeah. Yeah, these are all Zeknar. Yeah, rotating is like pretty cool. It's sort of like a mind bend, how you have to like, you know, you have to can't sort of use your subconscious. You gotta sanity check yourself a lot. I'm sure it's really tough.
Rotating is surprisingly difficult. There have been a number of players in the community that have mastered characters individually with single character win streaks that have been very impressive. And they have, when they have tried to apply that to rotating, it has not as traditionally gone quite as well. Although Zeknar recently claiming the rotating world record of 26 after breaking it before it was a absolute W across all fronts. But prior to Zeknar's dominance, players that mastered one character or several characters like really, really well found that rotating was still really hard. Really hard. It is really hard.
Yeah,
I think that's what gets me most excited for Spire 2 is that like everybody's going to be rotating at the beginning. Like it's going to be really difficult for people to get their feet underneath them initially, and I'm really looking forward to that, especially as like
definitely
the game is going to evolve. Like the cards that we see when the game is released will not be the same, you know, like there will be balance updates and more characters and new things. So getting back to that will be really neat.
Oh yeah, I've never even experienced a balance patch. So like this early rollout, it's gonna be like a gold rush. There's gonna be huge improvements.
Oh yeah, untapped meta.
Yeah,
and this cool. Nobody knows what's good or what's bad. People know everyone's going to be terrible at the game. Everyone.
Yeah, like even now, I'm like already like 180ing my opinion. I've already had like 1,000 hours in Spire 1. Can't imagine Spire 2, which is coming out in March. That's when the beta is coming out on Steam, allegedly. So look forward to that, everybody.
All right. How
Yeah.
close are we to getting
Ooh,
people
good
in
timing.
here?
Terrence is just having a couple tech issues restarting. Looks like the other two are ready.
Okay, fantastic.
Oh, I didn't give credit to One Punt Man for the Watcher streak. Sorry, Open. Your streak's awesome. Here you go.
Yeah, I'm really also interested to see like how much the work that the community collectively did in Slay the Spire 1 will translate to Slay the Spire 2. And also just like how difficult relatively the game will be. Because I feel like if players at the beginning are winning at a similar rate to Slay the Spire 1, that actually doesn't bode well for Slay the Spire 2. But
I agree, yeah, because you'd expect players to get better over time and win more.
Exactly. And like one of the reasons why Slay the Spire has had such staying power is that we have actually been able to get better basically the whole time that it has been, out. And I mean, it used to be that like if you had, say, and it's still the case. I'm not trying to say that it's not, but it used to be that like the best players were 50% win rate, and if you had 50% win rate, you were like insane. And now the best players are pushing like 80% on all the characters, and even higher potentially, which is just super cool to see. So I hope that when Slay the Spire 2 comes out, we will be losing a lot and being okay with that.
Looks like everyone's ready to go, by the way.
Okay, fantastic.
Should I post the seed?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alrighty.
Awesome. We're starting. Is everyone excited? First category,
Yes.
It's Ironclad.
Ironclad time. How exciting.
All right, so I'm going to leave Baylor and Absy to it. As you guys are going, if you want specific cameras to come up, just mention it, and I'll do my best to give you guys the cameras that you need. But yeah, we are going to get going. So good luck, guys, and good luck to our players.
Yeah, good luck. Have fun to the players. So we are using Discord to capture video. We might see a little bit of stuttering on the player feed sometimes, but we should be able to see by and large what they're doing and what the game state is. But welcome to my co-commentator here, Absy. Hello and welcome.
Hello. Let's get started. We're seeing some interesting yaws here. What are your first thoughts upon jumping in here?
Let's see. What are my thoughts on what would I pick on this Neo screen? That's a pretty tough one. Usually the lose 7 max health to start is always good, although remove 2 can be a little tricky on Clad if your Act 1 isn't like really set up for you well, if it's not really good card rewards or something.
Yeah, would you say remove 2 is maybe getting a little trendier these days? I feel like we've seen some advancements that kind of lean towards smaller decks.
There's a lot of strength to removing 2 from your deck right away. It's a really nice. Oh, GMAC apparently restarting here. Interesting. It's a really nice way to get started. I find. Looks like Terrence goes for a transform into a. Oh, I see. Yes, that's definitely cheating if you play on Ascension 0. Goal here is to play on A20, which we should discuss the format in brief. Actually, really important here as we get started. Like, what are these players trying to do? They're all playing on the same seed as the Ironclad, but why? Why are they here? Absy?
Well. It's why are they here? They're all playing the same seed. They'll be seeing the same challenges, and we're doing so to make sure that everyone has a challenge. Because of how optimized the game is, there's a chance that on random seed, it could end up just being a free seed for these guys. A lot of seeds are free seeds for these guys, honestly. So it's like,
I think a lot of seeds are free for Clad in general. Clad's kind of he's a Chad, and that tends to lead to 1 runs. He can just tank damage with max health and the healing of the starting relic. He's got really strong cards that can totally transform a run, like Corruption, and can really high roll on relics in such a way that he spirals out of control very quickly.
Yeah, I believe it was Zaknar who said that like 80% of cloud runs are like free, but those like super hard seeds are the ones that are really tough to squeeze value out of and sort of stumble your way to the finish line.
Yes, stumbling your way to the finish line is definitely something I am starting to learn the art of on Clad. Or at the
Yeah.
very least, like stumbling until I find something broken to exploit.
Yeah, it puts a lot more pressure on your micro, especially in Act 3 and Act 4. That's sort of my blind spots, is my Act 4 micro.
Yes, those fights are so crucial to get properly configured, like to order them correctly.
So did we see all the Niaos get placed? I see we got some card count differences.
So I saw Terrence transformed something into an anger, presumably a strike. Looks like J-Max going for remove 2 for the max health. That's the one I probably would lean towards here. Although again, I feel like that can lower more. And notably removing 2 strikes, which I think is brave to do on a seed that you know is supposed to be hard. But maybe because you know it's hard, you want to remove strikes more? What
Yeah.
do you think that do you think the players are going to adjust their play based on the perceived hardness of what they're being asked to do?
Absolutely, yeah. And I think in particular, there's a bit more control that the seed has over the early acts. So I have a suspicion that Act 1 might sort of bias a bit harder, which would speak against the remove 2, which is a more of a late game sort of pick, and also can be a bit tricky into Hexa. And also like I think people underestimate the like the floor 6 sentries. That's like the elite of my nightmares when I'm starting a clad run. So we'll see if we run into that. Yeah, we've seen a
Yeah.
big shop here from
Oh, there's so many nice things to buy in this shop.
Panacea here. That's practice. That's Panacea. Your move two into Flash and first shop is like kind of funny. But we'll see. There's a rage here. That's looking pretty hot. Looks like JMax going to the same sort of route to this floor two shop here. Maybe they'll take the same thing. Maybe they won't.
Well, that's one of the biggest questions with regards to when you put top players into the same Spire seed. Like, how much do they make the same choices, and how much do they not? It's such a fascinating thing to see play out. Even from floor one with the Niao, we see big differences here. But my real question is, are we going to have wildly different outcomes in match and keep? If different players get the match and keep, are they going to get wildly different outcomes? That's what I want to know. There's an exhume and a metallicize in Terrence's one here. Looks like he got a second bash, by the way. Actually, that's huge, or well, bad, right? You don't usually want 2 copies of bash in your deck as clad, do you?
So
So I wouldn't call that a good start, but I wonder if it's going to help. But yeah, there's definitely 2 bashes with Terrence here. That's not my idea of a good time.
yeah, and so one thing I should mention is we're doing 3 hour runs. It's like a soft cap. Could maybe end up being 3.5. Well, who knows? But
Yeah,
so there'll be some pressure. I know in a hard seat for myself, my ass would feel a bit of pressure trying to do that in 3.5 hours. Maybe I'm a slow player, but that could also. What do you think the implications are in the time limit on this?
I think it's a reasonably generous time limit. Like you can take your time somewhat and have a 2 hour run in Spire, but 3 hours definitely gives you enough time to like really think about some of the hard choices, like your card ordering in a boss fight, or exactly which card to take at a important shop or something like that. So I think we're going to see some of the players like run down the clock and do some deep consideration when they find a really tough obstacle. Um, I know Panacea is really familiar with a fast pace of play. Terrence is more known for going slower, so I think it could be more of an issue for Terrence. JMac, I'm not familiar with enough to know how comfortable JMac is going fast or slow.
Yeah, JMac is a player that I've seen him take some pretty ambitious Act Ones. He's pretty modest on the card picks. He tries to keep things really curated, and that's sort of historically pushed him to have to be really careful about his Act One micro. So, but he's very very thorough and talented with that. Hopefully that won't run into any time issues.
Panacea, thinking about a Dark Embrace here. It's quite a card select. Shin screen. Pummel versus Dark Embrace versus Rampage.
Early Dark Embrace. That's a polarizing take. A lot of Clad players got different opinions. I believe you're a early Dark Embrace kind of guy, right, Baylor?
I am indeed. Yes. I know it's not always appropriate, but it's almost always a card that pays off in the late game. And Clad is allowed to greet it. Actually, Panacea goes with the Rampage, by the way.
That's huge.
Um,
Do you think that's has to do with it being set seed? Does he assume he's not going to find hexa scaling because it's a hard seed?
I think he's looking at the fight coming up right next floor and thinking that Lagavulin is really spooky. That's got to be it for me. That's why I would take Rampage. And it looks like that is indeed the first elite that you'll face is Lagavulin as Terrence goes into that exact same floor.
I bet that was the
Ramp-
bait, wasn't it? The remove two into flash into Laga. Like I'm sure they planned that, right?
Oh yeah,
Or they-
Rampage is also a fair bit better with the remove two. And having removed two strikes, Lagavulin is that much more deadly. So I really think that Rampage is an anti-Lagavulin tech that Panacea picked up. Even skipping a double strike with vulnerable there to get the Rampage down with an upgrade from Armaments. Same choice for JMac. Do you take Dark Embrace? Do you take Pummel? Or do you take Rampage? What a choice.
And having this Arma does make the Laga matchup a lot better.
Yeah, I really like that you can greet Dark Embrace because of sentries, but now knowing that Lagavulin is the next elite, I cannot possibly condone taking Dark Embrace here, even
Oh,
though
man.
my heart hurts to say it. I think Rampage is the correct pick to not lose tons of health here. Although Terrence did not, Terrence has an anger, so Terrence doesn't, and a pummel strike, so Terrence does not need a filthy Rampage.
Yep. So we're looking neck and neck floor wise. Everyone's on floor 6, 7. Uh, everyone's on pace.
Yeah, I like this early synchronicity here. Everybody's at the exact same part of the game. I wonder. Usually, you don't see that stick for too long, especially if players are pacing themselves. Got to say that Rampage is really tearing the Lagavulin to shreds, at least. But yeah, everybody is here carefully considering their striking versus defending. Uh, pretty difficult, pretty difficult elite overall. So
Yeah, you basically have to let your draw pod kind of predict which cycle you're going to be killing on. Like, hopefully, you want to kill before the first hit after the next debuff. Is typically how it goes.
yes,
And punch
yeah,
what you can.
it's a carefully calculated choice to get a kill before a certain threshold of getting attacked again when you're unable to defend.
See, it makes it in one piece. And we got 41 health. We got a distilled. Ooh, and we got the shovel. That makes for a fun seed.
Shovel first relic, of course. Of course.
Yeah, after the armaments, too. Yeah, that's going to see some action for sure. I'm a big
Not a
shovel.
relic you want to see first, because it's what you want right at the start of the game, of course, is value. You want a relic that provides block or block or damage so that your fights are easier. But the shovel only gives you a new option, which is to, instead of upgrading, to dig for a relic. And right at the very beginning of the game, when you have no upgrades, it's really hard to justify giving that up.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
The upgrade is usually more valuable, I think, than a random relic at the very beginning of a run. It's certainly more guaranteed value. And when you have to survive like the worst possible outcome, considerations for a next combat, then the shovel really isn't adding a whole lot of guarantee to your situation. It's pretty tough.
It's definitely not one of those things that you want to see. Whether when you do see it, whether you try to make lemons out of lemonade, that could players got pretty different sort of takes on it. There's some arguments sort of in favor of doing early digs and sort of the relics that get more power the longer you have them, things like question card. But also what people don't really think about often is like getting that early relic intel where it's like even you have some upgrade debt of stuff you know you want to upgrade. Sometimes it can be good to see a relic just so you have some sort of foresight and sort of things to build around and sort of to assess your sort of power curve on this run.
Yeah, and shovel's not really something you can build around, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Terrence, as we get into the new elite combat here, Terrence is rolling up to the 3 sentries and kind of draws his deck upside down here. All the very best cards are at the very bottom. And this could be a really tough situation for Terrence here, actually.
Yeah, let's get a Terrence
Notably,
cam or like a multicam. That'd be nice.
yeah, we're, we're zoomed on Terrence at the moment. Looks like.
Yeah, awesome. We're in the right place.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're
Um,
right though. Those early digs could they can be polarizing because you can't just they can't just be entirely empty, and you do need early power. It's absolutely true. Yeah, we haven't Terrence on the
so
big screen.
yeah, yeah. So what I was about to say actually is that Gremlin Knob, notably absent here from the first two Elite combats, often something that we think of as like the hard Spire Elite in Act 1, but especially for Ironclad in particular, I don't think that's always the worst matchup for Ironclad. Ironclad has an attack-heavy starting deck and an attack-heavy pool, so he can generally answer the knob. Even when he can't, he can tank through it. But the sentries present a more persistent threat in that they can dilute Clad's draws to the point where he can't accomplish anything. And so he could be taking a ton of damage in this fight for Terrence.
Yeah, luckily Terrence is controlling the reshuffle super well, getting those angers all in the pile before he's even sending the second win for nothing, just to make sure.
Yeah, that's an important one
Yeah,
on the
it's not
redraw,
hard.
definitely.
Yeah, I do think sentries can be scarier to encounter. I think it's the scariest to encounter like early on in an Act 1. I think once you get to like mid late Act 1, it sort of equalizes a little more. J-Mac catching up, got his floor 6 down, got the shovel, got the distilled. Looking at a big P strike versus a second win to a Hex Act. Pretty sweet.
Yeah, it looks like Terrence went with the second win, which I do respect. It's especially with the pommel strike and anger. It's a really nice add.
Some draw. Oh yeah. Checking the map here. We're seeing 3 elites on the horizon. He wants that. We are
Curious how
back
the
up on
Rampage is going to
Terrence.
match up. I'm
Look at
sorry.
this next draw here. Oh man.
Uh-oh.
Wait,
Yeah, Terrence is. This is what I was just saying. Actually, these sentries are a huge threat here. Although with two healing potions in the battle, Terrence should be able to continue tanking damage for a while. But even so, the sheer loss of health is really threatening here. Does manage to vanquish them with 9 health left, and both potions, and a potion
Whoa.
belt actually to hold on to those. We call this perfect potion preservation. I think that's a good thing to be doing.
Oh yeah. Potion Bell, it's a good late game relic. This Act 1's been going well for these 3 players so far. We did kind of hear some hints that, people are going to make it to the boss, but maybe Act 2 is where things are going to get nasty. Who knows? That is generally a pretty scary act every game. Especially if we here's what the boss relics will be, because that's one of the things that they can consistently control. So we'll see if they use that control for good or evil, those seed choosers.
Yeah, so Merle, I believe, was the one who hand selected most of the seeds and confided in me that a little bit of the selection process which was that he looked at aggregate run data from high level players and then looked at losing runs and then started kind of just like hand filtering from there. So all of the seeds that we're seeing today, both for the Ironclad and the Silent and the Defect, all of these seeds have personally vanquished a high level player already, possibly even me. I'm not sure who exactly whose run data was used to filter for the losses here, but guaranteed somebody good played the video game and lost on these seeds. So they are tricky.
Ooh, yeah, he's got a pedigree. Will they take another victim today? We'll see.
And that run data was, I believe, shared through Terrence MHS's Discord. So Terrence provided the aggregate data.
Yeah, shout out Terrence.
Yeah, shout out to Terrence. Runs a very cool Discord. Used to have a website with like Spire streak tracking and things like that.
Who would you say is is in the lead so far. Do you have a how are you placing your bets, Baylord and chat?
Let's see. So who of these players is in the best position? I think Terrence is in the best position with the anger transform, honestly. I think that anger is really serving well into Act 1. He's got 2 healing potions in the belt, where the other players not so much.
Anger's still a solid card. Anger into Hexaghost. Anger stocks have been a little low lately, but that's only relative to how it used to kind of be glazed. But what are your kind of current takes on the development of like how you see Anger right now, basically?
I think it's a card that scales well with. Wait, takes a clash? What? Am I taking crazy pills? Do you all see that? Terrence MHS just clicked on the clash card and added it to his deck willingly. What?
I guess the trick is to avoid bad seeds, just to do some crazy stuff, keep the seed on its toes, you know? There's some hardcore metagaming.
One Pun Man says, I don't understand the double bash clash meta. I clearly don't. Yeah, I don't know. I did forget about the second bash, by the way. I forgot about it entirely. But yeah, I don't understand the play.
Yeah. Clash is going to play into Hexa, into this Laga here. That's one thing it's famous for.
That's true. It can be a good card. It's notoriously, I guess there is a second win, right? I was just thinking, it's not very reliable into Hexaghost, right? That is a concern. But we did just play the Clash for Terrence, so there is that.
I would say the card does get a bit overhated sometimes, because it is like sometimes you just got to remember to just look at the number on it, And
it does have a big number.
Yeah, you don't expect it to last the whole run, but it can kind of get you through and maybe stop you from clicking a couple smaller numbers that will trash up your deck in late game.
See, Terrence and Panacea both in the same fight right now.
Looks like J-Max draw order isn't that good into Sentries here. Oh, we got the clutch defend plus though.
Panacea now down to 10 HP, taking a big wall up from the Lega here. Looks like they're able to kill in the next turn though. We see the Lega draw is going to drop an Anchor and a Regen Potion, Offering, and Limit Break. Now there's some cards for you. Terrence, meanwhile, having to drink one of those healing potions just to stay alive. Also tanking a big hit from the Lagavulin. Yeah, taking 15 here. Thinking about maybe taking 20, but Clash, our savior, is here to allow us to play defend on this turn. Excellent job, Clash.
Got your back when you're struggling. Happy to see the big offering with the armaments.
Oh yeah, still sees the offering. No limit break though. Interesting. That's kind of fun. Difference in card rewards.
That's 3 events into that next elite here.
Terrence with double bash, offering, and clash. I think Terrence is now unstoppable.
There's no way Terrence is going for that elite on 11, even with the blood pot. What do you think? Is there elite you're scared of in Terrence's position?
Double potions? And plenty of time to prepare. Well, I'm actually more scared of the event rooms, I think. Terrence goes for the combat here, ends up in a 5 slime fight, which is definitely tricky looking. But with second wind in hand, do you play the offering? Or maybe just second wind it away? Kind of a tough call.
Either you something Terrence 6 and get out, or polarizing. He tries to save the 2, yeah.
Yeah. Something to keep in mind for this fight, if Terrence were to use the Distilled Chaos, he would want to make sure that he has no attacks in hand, but no non-attacks, in hand, so that the Distilled Chaos is allowed to play Clash, because otherwise it will be invalid as a play. Can also just draw into the Clash, I guess. Yeah, Clash our saviors here.
Yeah, it's a hallway monster. Even though you'd think like, oh, it's kind of sketchy on first cycle, and in these short fights, like sometimes it just bricks with the Bane, but I don't know. Some Clash hallways can be pretty good.
Yeah, and to to elaborate more on what you asked about pathing earlier, actually, here with a potion belt that you want to fill up, and with lantern and anchor to make your turn ones consistently good, I think hallway fights are the clear winner here. You want to farm, as they say, as Clad. Maybe you even get some health if you do it well. But just accumulate potions, find better cards, get some money, and get stronger, guaranteed, rather than risking events here.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah, a 50% potion chance with Terrence here. So we'll see if we get some good drops. Shrug
Terrence gets
Carnage
offered a
Clothesline.
Carnage. The Carnage.
Yeah, I could see a big attack for Act 2. Especially with two fires on the horizon. Get a nice upgrade for that thing. Panacea Vision. We're thinking about this shop or no? I guess it's a matter of how he feels in his Hexa. It looks like he could use a little more cushion, a little comfort.
I'd be thinking about buying that Entropic Brew here. With an empty potion belt, that's a pretty strong purchase.
A sweet find, yeah. Like Entropic, like a striker move to go with the second win, maybe if.
I like the deck that Panacea is creating here. We've got Evolve and Second Win and Rampage as our Hexaghost answer at the moment. There's also Fire Breathing on sale, which could be some weird idea. Though I personally wouldn't be clicking on it. Chanting for the Shard, as you might expect.
Do you think he's slated to go potionless into this Hexaghost, Panacea? Like playing without popping a potion?
Like to drink it right away, or mean, or try to preserve it?
Like I'm just wondering if this fire breathing just basically earns you a potion into Act 2.
With the second wind, I don't even know if it's that much damage, because you're not going to redraw the burns, probably. I'm not convinced I would want to add it here.
Yeah, that's super true, yeah.
But I'm also a fire breathing hater, so I'm not likely to pick it up usually. Aha, I knew it. Called it. Called my shot. Entropic Brew, bought.
Perfect gold, it must be good.
Ditches a strike, too, of course. But do they dig? That is the important question.
The answer is
they
yes.
do. They get a tungsten rod. Okay, cool. Diggers do prosper. And now the offering looking a lot better as well.
Exactly.
So that's a major point of divergence that we could see here is, do we see the players dig up relics or not? So does a key relic appear earlier or later for a given player, causing them to make different choices during their game?
Yeah, just to give a bit of background on that, each relic rarity goes through a relic queue. So if the rod was the next rare relic, then the next rare relic that anyone else sees, probably a tungsten rod as well. Not counting shops, of course, because those pull from the back of the queue.
Yeah, there are a few exceptions.
There any other that come to mind? I'm curious.
For example, if you have Black Star, then you get an additional relic that is normally of a random rarity, but it also has an additional qualifier on it, which is that the additional relic from Black Star cannot be the shovel, the peace pipe, or the Gurya. How gets another offering? Oh no, that's JMac picking up the first offering. Excuse me. But yeah, so that could mean that if the next rare relic had been something that was excluded, then it can cause a divergence. Another easy example is like Bottled Tornado, where if you don't have a power to bottle, then the bottle tornado will not spawn. So one player could see a totally different uncommon relic than another because the next relic in the list was the tornado.
Yeah.
Opposites can also happen with relics that don't show up in shops. Yes, Maw Bank getting discarded. Basically, if a relic is disqualified in a given situation for any reason, then that can create a divergence. The biggest notable difference for this in competitive runs, although nobody took this option here, and this might happen for defect especially, if somebody boss swaps, then you disqualify the upgraded starter relic from the boss relic pool because you no longer have a starter relic to trade in to get it. And so that can cause a divergence in the boss relics that are seen during the run. If like Frozen Core, for example, was going to be one of the 3 boss relics after the Act 1 boss and a defect boss swaps, then they'll see a different relic instead.
True that. How do you feel about Terrence's pace in this Hexaghost fight here? Looks like we're on turn. I believe this is like turn 3, right? The no green flames.
Turn 3. That's right.
Yeah, that's a big
Yes.
chunk of Hexaghost health out.
Actually missed that Terrence beat everybody else to the Act 1 boss here. Although it looks like Panacea also just starting the Hexaghost fight as well. With a clothesline on turn 1. Terrence notably does not have the tungsten rod for this fight, whereas Panacea does.
Yeah, and on top of that, Terrence, I mean, he's ahead on damage here, but a few bad draws. Ooh, here's a bad draw. I think it forces the potion here.
Yeah, looks like it. Yep. But with potions plus an Entropic Brew in the belt, Terrence seems pretty inclined to spend at least one of these. See, Panacea. So yeah, 2 players bought the Entropic Brew. Smart of them. Panacea is just clowning on Hexaghost here. Holy moly. What is happening?
Yeah, another thing about fighting Hexa at low health is, I believe it was Opum. It was one pun man who kind of told me this the other day. He made me realize how little I underrate the 18 attack that's before the big 36 on turn 7. Like that turn 3 deal 18 is nasty.
If you don't have enough health to buffer it, that can absolutely do you in. My rule of thumb is you need like 30-ish health to make it to the Inferno consistently, to survive the Divider on turn 2, followed by the 6x2 multi-attack, followed by the 9x2 multi-hit, plus whatever incremental burn damage or regular attack damage that you might take. But you can actually take a lot more than that. I once had like 50 damage dealt to me on Clad in the first 7 turns of that fight, and I just died.
Glad you have that heuristic, because Hexaghost is something that I'm famously awful at trying to evaluate. It can be pretty abstract, especially with different draw orders and things. And oh man, one thing missing the reshuffle can be enough to be deadly a lot of the time.
Oh yeah, missing the reshuffle is definitely tough. Looks like Terrence does make it past the Ghost here, being offered some pretty good cards here.
Some Excel, some scaling.
Double offering, double bash, clash, double second wind.
Yeah,
it's going to be the perfect deck. Just
sure,
any moment.
Salivating over the second offering, but maybe he could be worried about getting cladded, like not finding scaling. Or maybe you could say, hell, with the 2 offerings, that second wind exhausting, those segments exhausting down, that's a good form of scaling in itself. And this Fiendfire too.
Honestly, I wasn't watching the individual fight too closely, but I think the double bash genuinely helped with that Hexa fight, lining up with the Carnage and the Clash.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Panacea, meanwhile, has the biggest second wind of all time and is rampaging all over the Hexaghost. It's kind of embarrassing here.
And you definitely want your bash to land and still not lose the Carnage. Got to play the Carnage when you see it, so you need that extra bash for backup.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah, it's strats. Boss relic picks for Terrence and for everyone is going to be Key versus Crown versus Calling Bell. That's a pretty tough choice, actually. I find Key is, especially at the end of Act 1, is deceptively tough. It seems kind of like it's free, but it's not free. It is absolutely not free, the Curse Key. And so it can be a really tough time having those, you're behind by 1 guaranteed curse if you don't have the blue key yet, and then you're giving up one or more relics as well, because you're either skipping a chest or you're getting another curse. And then if you find any random chests, then oh boy, it's even worse.
Yeah, it'll be immediately strong into this act too, but yeah, oh man, losing card draw for Act 4, that can be deadly. It could certainly add up. It does look a little bit attractive though, this Curse Key though.
Is
What do
anyone
you
in a
like?
position to take this crown?
No shot. You like need defensive scaling to take a crown.
But well, Panacea has Rampage and Tungsten Rod. That's
Yeah,
is that
the
not
rod.
enough? Surely that's
Oh,
enough.
really? Interesting. Wouldn't have imagined.
No,
You-
I kid. Looks like Terrence does go with the Curse Key, of course. I think that's the
Dumbass.
reasonable pick compared to Crown.
How's this map looking? How many? I mean, at least we got an early shop. We got 3 elites, two, 3. It's 2 with an early burning. It's looking pretty hot into these hallways.
Yeah, I find you really have to keep up the pace in Act 2 and keep getting elite fights. Those Act 2 elites can be really tough, but you can't shy away from them. If you're looking to conquer A20 hard, you cannot shy away from the Act 2 elites and just kind of skip them. In order to get strong enough, you have to take them head on. And it looks like, well, you kind of have to, given the map. Everyone's going to get the same Act 2 map, which means everyone is fighting an early Act 2 elite, whether they like it or not. But I think they should be liking it. Panacea living with by the virtue of Tungsten Rod here, by the way. Drinking a regen potion just to stay alive.
Huge. Yeah,
But
let me
does
see
get
these
a new
boss
potion.
relics. Yeah. Big screen.
Sees different cards
Ooh.
than Terrence did. Gets offered a feed and an impervious. Interesting. But what about double tap Rampage? Nope, takes the feed.
Just put him in a different position with his boss relics. I don't know. It still kind of just looks like a key to me. Especially since
cool.
he's he got a big buffer into Act 4 with his health if he makes it there, basically. So losing draw is gonna be less polarizing in the heart.
And so chat's a little bit confused by the run divergence on my end here. Can we touch on like what makes the players see different things than each other in a Spire run? So far, everyone has the same relics. The boss relics are set in stone; those cannot be changed except by swapping, as I mentioned. But
Cards are
what
kind
about
of the
card
most
rewards?
polarizing thing, yeah. Because taking elites at a different sort of pace means, you know, because they roll like different chances for rarities and things. So that's kind of the main way that things will go off course.
Oh yeah, that's a great example actually. So behind the scenes in Spire, you've got what's called a rare offset. So you have basically the game is counting whenever you see a common card. And it adds to your rarity chance. The more common cards you see, the higher your chance is to find a rare card or an uncommon card. And then that resets when you ever find a rare card. So, as you say, yeah, but fighting an elite gives you a baseline boost to your chance to find a rare card. So if you fight an elite earlier or later than another player, then you may see a rare card earlier or later than another player, which means your rarity chance for the next combat can be different, and that's going to cause you to see all sorts of different cards. And essentially, once your card rewards are desynchronized, that's going to keep going. So even though everyone fights the same boss on the same floor, they don't see the same cards from the boss.
Yeah, and yeah, shops. That's another thing that just nukes the card awards. If
Yes,
you see
speaking
shop at a
of.
different time, yeah.
Terrence here looking at Prismatic Shard in an Act 2 shop with the double bash, double offering, double second wind build. Now a double strike build as well by virtue of removing one strike.
Even if you desync in Act 1, the card seeding stuff all resets for Act 2, so they should still start out back the same, and I'm sure they'll quickly divert again.
Yeah, relics are more in tune with each other. We touched on this briefly. I think the easiest way to visualize this is to think of the relics in the Spire as decks in a card. Each of the rarities of relic, that is common, uncommon, and rare, are sorted into piles of cards, And when the game asks for a relic of that appropriate rarity, you take the top card of that rarity, and that's the relic that you find. When a player goes to a shop, they instead take the card off the bottom of the deck. So you're not going to see the same relics in shops that you would see otherwise.
Yeah, and of course they'll only resync the cards once they all get into Act 2. We see a JMac trailing a bit behind, still in Act 1. We are just over half hour into this run here. Do you think he's on pace to finish in this 3.5 hour sort of rough time limit?
I think so. Yeah, I think, especially on Clad, I think it can be more valuable to spend more time early. So I think it's quite possible for this character to speed up as they go along. If they eventually assemble something really strong, it can become very simple to play.
Yeah, and it's, I guess that's sort of what I predicted. Yeah, J Mac being very very deliberate. Um, did I see him choose to was that Pommel over Feel No Pain? It was. I'm sure if Feel No Pain really tempted him, but I guess he's feeling a little threatened by this Hexa Ghost, or perhaps even Act 2. Which, like, honestly, I don't know. That Feel No Pain, I don't know. Maybe it's kind of hitting into Act 2. I don't think it's that bad.
I like Feel No Pain a lot, especially with Second Wind and Offering and Carnage in the deck. I would love a Feel No Pain, but if I did feel immediately threatened by the boss, then that would be a good reason to skip the card.
Feel No Pain, to me, it's just the card that wins games. There's only so many ways that you could sort of scale, like block scaling into late game. Like I would dump my pots for that to be if I had to, if it comes down to it. But yeah, I'm one of those true
Yeah,
Feel No
that's a
Pains.
choice that can be really tricky actually in this game. Is like, do you enter Act 2 with more potions, or do you enter Act 2 with different cards that you think are better suited for the acts and use those potions to survive short term? Wait, Terrence just ran into Knowing Skull. Hold on.
I love it,
And has
man.
has a full potion belt and lots of health. What does Terrence do at the Knowing Skull with shops ahead of him?
I just have to
Says,
quickly
"I'm out."
interject here. If Terrence doesn't click colorless until he's almost dead, is he really playing the game?
He has already skipped it, unfortunately.
Boo him, chat.
Yeah.
Boo.
Boo, boo.
Yeah, I mean, I think in JMac's position, with the two offerings and the anchor, lantern or turn one, he was looking kind of hot into those hallways, like I'd want to secure some late game sort of thing. But I guess you could say that just having a potion belt, man, oh man, does that ever speak for late game? Especially you can carry one of these like a distilled or something, like
Oh yeah,
into Act 4,
good potion carried all the way to the end. A dupe pot to duplicate a key scaling card, like a limit break or an entrench, can make all the difference in the hard fight. Yeah, one dupe pot can be the difference between a very difficult fight and a completely free one. And
getting
Terrence is
JMac
sitting rich here
still
with 4 very good potions in the potion belt.
on top of the world.
Ideally,
He's not
even
gonna
like
take the 6.
it's a mix of potions you feel okay using right away and potions that are good for later. The liquid memory is good for the late game. The fire pot and the entropic or the distilled chaos, good for right now.
Do you think he was ahead enough to skip that offering here? How do you feel about this chosen fight here? Interesting seeing him burst down the chosen first. Tungsten rod is kind of nice with
Yeah,
the
he
burden. That's pretty
definitely has
sweet.
the damage. Chosen's just cooked.
Oh yeah.
That carnage,
Oh,
the double bash carnage tech is too strong for Terrence here, and has cooked
that-
the chosen easily.
man, oh man, does he
And there was
know his
always the fire
limits?
pot if
Yeah.
a little bit more was needed.
Yeah, honestly, like yeah, potting for 6 with full slots and 40%, like sheesh, I'll try to skip that offering. If I lose a potion, it's not the end of the world.
I think keeping the deck slim is definitely a key skill here. That some exercise has to be, some restraint has to be exercised. Is what I meant to say, to avoid too much bloat. Yeah, double bash carnage actually feeling pretty good on 4 energy, right? Okay, Terrence digs up the tungsten rod. Hilarious.
Sweet.
JMac facing down. Actually, I guess I'll do multi-feed here. because we got lots of tough fights here. Terrence walking into triple slavers as J-Mac continues to face down the Hexaghost.
You know, do you think Terrence
I'm
is going to
impressed we've
pop a
seen two
pot
separate
here?
players dig here.
Yeah, armaments and deck. Makes sense. Is that Terrence having a potless lethal on right? Holy moly.
Again, the double bash.
Yeah.
If you have two bashes, then one of them is always on top.
Vulnerable's not that bad. I mean, people kind of came around to receiving some more thunderclaps these days. Now
By the way, I just
second
want to give a
bash.
quick shout out to Solo Wing SC2 for rating Merle's channel here, the official Merlathon bonus day. Welcome everybody.
Oh, yeah, you're in for a treat here. We got a big event here. We're halfway through almost halfway through this run here. We're halfway through Act 2. This is set seed. It's a brutal seed. We'll see if there's any big upsets. Are you guys excited? We're doing blues flavor first. That's kind of neat on Terrence's feed here.
Oh yeah, you don't see that too often. Blue Slaver first.
Yeah. Threatened by Vol. I wonder what's in the booty pile for this headbutt here. There's a lot of big horizon of choice here.
Huh.
Maybe see a Carnage lethal.
Yeah, Headbutt has a lot of value with a big card like Carnage too.
Runderstein in chat pointing out J-Mac is in a bit of a tough spot with Hexa at the moment.
Definitely, yeah. Thinking hard about the incoming 9x2. We were just talking about that.
Much further behind on damage here. I guess we ain't seen no Rampage here. He's got a big Carnage, but man, oh man, how did you think it ended up like this?
It's not
Was
going to be
this-
enough.
Was this predictable, or do you think he like low rolled like reshuffles or something?
Well, it looks like we're shuffling out Carnage here. I don't know if this is the only time that happened in this fight or not, but it does come at a very inconvenient time, such that it looks like a potion will be sufficient to bail out here, right? Either the regen potion can tank the incoming damage, or the Distilled Chaos can guaranteed play the Carnage right now. No matter the draw order, because one of the cards is a Flash of Steel, even if it's bottom deck Carnage, then playing the Distilled Chaos right now ensures that the Carnage gets played. So that's another option to win the fight here.
And he gets in the reshuffle. That's huge too. Just how brave does he feel versus how brave does he feel into Act 2, really? It's braver either way, I suppose.
I think they might be looking for a way to do this without using the potion, and that'd be a very clever thing to do if possible. Terrence, meanwhile, crushing the slavers finally, picks up Dreamcatcher. Not exactly inspiring, but the Shockwave is pretty good. Shockwave widely considered to be a good card.
Just that card plays the game. It just plays through the game front to back. You know, it's
Ooh. And then finds the library, which has Exhume, Dark Embrace, Feel No Pain, Bludgeon. Lots of good cards here.
Chance for a Feel No Pain. Ooh. What stands out to you here?
With double second wind, I'd have a hard pressed not to take Dark Embrace here on 4 energy with good potions.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I'd be taking Dark Embrace with double second wind.
It just plays better
Clash.
into
We
Act
think of the
4.
Clash.
The Clash. So I'm guessing. So would you say like the Feel No Pain plays better into this Act 2, but the Dark Embrace is the more of like the Act 4 sort of pick?
I'm not even. I guess the Feel No Pain being cheaper is pretty crucial. The Dark Embrace is pretty immediate payoff because it lets you draw into the second winds and have them. Yeah, he goes Dark Embrace. You can draw into the second winds and have them be bigger right away, which is very important. So the Dark Embrace is generating block indirectly by getting you more cards in hand for second wind.
Yeah. Maybe the double second wind is going to come down on the same turn.
Oh, opens the treasure chest, gets a normality. With double second wind, I can see why I wasn't afraid of the curse too much. And with tungsten rod, right? Like pain is no problem at all, but normality is less than ideal when you cannot get rid of it right away. It does take the blue key, of course. Probably going to be going to that shop to remove normality, but might take an elite maybe. We'll see.
Yeah. King with Latcher
G-Mac,
makes a lot of
meanwhile,
sense. So,
did decline to play the Distilled Chaos. Has drawn decently well into Hexa here. I think probably gets away with actually not having to potion, ultimately. Taking 3 more, going to 5 health. And then I think you just bash second wind, guaranteed kill. Oh, no, just instantly kill. Yeah, there you go. There you go. So all 3 players have finally defeated the Hexaghost. Again, a different set of cards for JMac. This time, Impervious, Limit Break, Demon Form. Demon Form looking actually decent here.
yeah, I could use some scaling. Damn. Sounds great. Where do I sign up?
Did we see who the Act 2 boss is?
Did you catch it, chat?
It's Automaton.
It's Automaton, okay. Oh, and let's see, who was that? Terrence just ran into the Forsaken Altar event in Act 2. Although with high health, that's not too much of a problem. Problem is that Terrence already does have a curse. So the choice is either give up a bunch of health or get a second curse.
Rod value. Holy moly.
That's true. The rod does reduce the damage the altar does by 1 there. So it's actually 50 out of 80. It's not even that bad. Seems like 5 max health, if you ask me.
Yeah. You got the Dreamcatcher too. So
yeah, I was going to say incentive to use the Dreamcatcher. Exactly.
He's looking at that elite. He's looking at that normality. He's like, ooh, maybe some draw orders. Yeah, like doing like an offering into like normality in like a weird way could be kind of a little spooky.
So we were talking about Relic Divergence earlier, actually. Here we've seen some more Relic Divergence, which is that Panacea has taken the Ancient T-Set, which Terrence MHS took the blue key instead. As I think Panacea found it at a different spot or something like that. It wasn't up against blue key. So they have different relics now.
Terrence is very poor.
Oh man, impoverished.
Terrence sad about the shop. Yeah, Battle Trance, Reaper, Feed, Trip. Now, who needs Trip when you have Double Bash? Not Terrence.
He's not really considering a striker move, is he? I sure hope not.
That'd be a hell of a choice. You know, Strike is not exhausted by second wind, but Normality is. So, striker move could easily be the play here.
Yeah. It does open some low rolls, I think, with normality orders.
But, definitely, yeah. If you offering into Normality, you're just kind of hosed.
Yeah. It feels
so you got to be real careful.
Ooh, Tusk striker move. Man, that's so cool. How do you feel about that?
Did actually move the strike? Yes. Yeah. The gamer. Yeah, officially going the gamer choice.
I mean, that's why he's Terrence, you know?
Yeah, these are the kind of choices that separate good from great, potentially. Yeah. Definitely could backfire. I'm very curious how Terrence chooses to navigate the difficulty of having the normality still here. It's going to interfere with Clash at minimum. So again, the advantage here is that the normality is a target for second wind, whereas Strike is not a target for second wind. So the Strike is a more valuable remove under that criteria. It also does qualify Terrence for the Purifying Shrine event. That's true. An additional advantage is that added to the relic pool, or the event pool rather, is the possibility of remove all curses as an event. That's fun. Is that good? I'm not entirely sure. That effectively is 1 remove as an event, which is decent, but not amazing.
Marginal. It is a shrine event. It's pretty unlikely to. It's a way less than like normal events.
Oh yeah, very very marginal advantage for sure.
Yeah, I would say it's a little advantage.
Let's see, what does Panacea do at the rest site? Looks like it was an upgrade. Something I missed it actually. Also runs into Forsaken Altar. Has less health though, so and a much worse potion belt. Like if you compare Panacea right now and Terrence, they both have 4 potions, but Terrence's potion belt is way better.
Yeah, Panacea got that feed on him, so he could get value out of having HP in a lot of ways.
And yeah, Panacea at the rest site rested and Dreamcatchered into a Fiendfire.
Oh, I missed that. Yeah, I definitely missed that. Good catch.
Terrence also just grabbed Power Through.
Power
Power
through,
through
double
second
second wind, Dark Embrace. Now Terrence is really starting to assemble like a really working strategy, a functional core deck that I can easily see winning the end game here.
Yep, 2-time champ. I'm calling it. Terrence gonna get the back-to-back. That'll be exciting.
That's right. Terrence did win the was tied for victory in the Merlathon event that spawned this one.
Yeah, because ties do happen because there's no like tiebreaker if you like finish quicker. It's either you make it through or you don't. It's a pass or fail.
So, just touching a question from my chat is who all the other voices are here. My co-commentator Abz32 is narrating the run with me, and we did also just briefly hear from Merle and Asuki, some of the background organizers for the Merlathon and just a general Spire community, awesome people.
Absy here. Hello, chat. This Fiendfire is gonna be huge for Panacea's deck once get some real card calling going on here. He's
Yeah,
got,
Panacea has also
easily
picked up a Dark Embrace, so the Fiendfire even better.
Yeah, so is it too late to say? Is this I mean, you don't have to answer if it's a spoiler, Merle, but I'm curious how many of sort of the pitfalls you anticipated people coming into, how many of them kind of dodged it? Or like what's going on under the surface here? What did you expect to happen?
Yeah, well, since the players are now playing the run and are obviously not listening to the stream, I can reveal that the original player of this seed died to automaton. And essentially died to automaton because they failed to find scaling, and that was sort of always going to be the pitfall of this run. Like if the players here were to die, it would be because they were not able to find either scaling for Hexaghost, which is interesting because all three of them did find scaling for Hexaghost in different ways. And I knew that there was plenty of scaling for Hexaghost, but maybe not super conventional Hexaghost scaling, which is why I thought that the beginning of this seed was interesting. And then for Automaton, you definitely need something, and it looks like Terrence and Panacea will get there with what they have found. But the person who
I think Panacea
originally
might be at risk of potentially not quite making it in the automaton fight.
Yeah, the Fiendfire. Yeah, the Rampage. We'll see. That might be close as of right now, but we'll see. But yeah, essentially the original run just did not get as much value in Act 2 as like Terrence and Panacea have been able to get out of Act 2 so far, and died to automaton.
This is like one of those, what do they call it, like the butterfly effect, where they just saw different cards sort of thing? Or do you think in the original seed it saw a lot of... Also, who was it, if you don't mind me asking? Who was the original player?
The original player for this seed was Zeknar.
Took down the great Zeknar. I'm guessing one of his offline games. I believe these are never before seen on stream. These are exclusive seeds.
Looks like JMac just turned down Apparitions. Seems to be the only player building Body Slam at the moment. Body Slam Impervious for JMac, whereas the other players are doing like Second Wind Dark Embrace things.
Apparition's Rod is good, but when you have that curse key, maybe your draw consistency can be weird into Act 4, and that's when losing that max HP can really ruin your day.
All right, Terrence rolls up to Bronze Automaton, deletes Normality on turn 1. Is there an offensive plan, though? That's my question. Terrence can easily block the Automaton for quite a while, but can Terrence actually kill the boss?
What kind of loop are we working with here with Terrence? I wish I could pull up his deck. Yeah, Drop House looks pretty good. Yeah, he's doing his Power Through Second Wind sort of loop here. Hyper Beam should be like aight.
Yeah, there is. You can use the deck list link if you want to see the decks.
Unfortunately, Terrence's isn't working for
I see.
mysterious reasons, but the other two at least.
Oh. I missed that link. Hold up.
It's pinned in chat.
Thanks.
Yeah, if all three of our chat asks if all three of our contestants prevail here, does that mean everyone is better than Zeknar?
I will say that I think that they have benefited tremendously from knowing that the seed is hard. Like this particular seed, I think that all three of them have made decisions that they might not normally make, because they knew that the seed was going to be difficult. And one of the major pitfalls for Ironclad is not being able to find scaling. And so if you know that it's an Ironclad seed that is supposed to be hard, I think that if it were me playing and I had no idea, I would probably go, okay, scaling is going to be at a premium and I need to take whatever I can get.
Definitely.
Yep.
Yeah, it's also entirely possible that these players do still fail to prevail.
It
Indeed,
might not be an
yeah.
organic approach and representation of their gameplay, but
it is a cool showcase of skill, regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah, Terrence, you're having a big think against Automaton. Very lot of cards at hand, so many options for what to do, and it's a very important fight. This fight, how the players navigate this fight, each of them independently, is going to make or break their runs, I think. Let's see, what's Panacea up to? Panacea facing a 16/3 from Gremlin Leader. Oof. Ouch.
Nasty.
Second win here to save the day, though, with Clothesline, too. Maybe a good time to Speed Potion, actually. Doesn't do that, though. Just, oh, they're going for the kill with Rampage, I see. Looking for Feed Lethal, even.
Oh, man.
And gets it. Okay, easy peasy.
Huge.
Exact Feed Lethal? Is that what I saw?
Yep,
Indeed.
W line.
Very nice. True Grit is a really important core piece that I think would be worth really considering here. Exhaust a targeted card, goes for the Shrug Plus, which I completely respect.
Not a whole lot of attacks.
I think True Grit into upgrade True Grit could have been really important there.
Like you'd be trying to get rid of for like the strike and like the clothesline, and for the bash too, probably eventually.
Yeah, just to get down to like a Flash of Steel, Shrug, Pommel Strike loop or something like that with the armaments.
We do a Fiend Fire for some of the attacks. To exhaust some of the attacks, rather. JMac doing the burning send.
Goes for the burning elite. Whoa, Strength Slavers. Yeah. Yikes. And that's not a very exciting turn one hand either.
Yeah. It's like 9 more damage every turn.
Wow. Yeah, no, Strength Slavers are no joke. It doesn't seem like the 3 strength does a lot, but yeah, 9 damage per turn is a good way to think of it, and that really hurts in a fight where you're already under such immense pressure.
Yeah, I'm not like thrilled by this draw pile, to be honest. By this opening hand, I mean.
Okay, so Panacea just rolled into the Automaton fight. Yeah, exactly. Not a very good opening hand indeed. I guess I'll get triple feed up here. They're all doing important fights. Who do you focus on?
Akabeko Fiendfire. Holy moly. On Panacea's joint.
I gotta say, mad respect actually to Merle for picking the seed. We've got all three players in pretty tough looking situations at the same time, which is really quite something. Goes for the fire pot kill. Okay, gets one slaver, but still huge damage from the other two. Takes 9.
Yeah, I'm definitely, at least so far, pretty happy with how this seed has turned out. I think even if all the players win from here, I think we will have accomplished our goal.
Yeah, I think so too. Like they got promising futures here, but they're still struggling to get over that finish line here. It's a great seed.
Yep.
On the edge of your
Terrence is
seat.
popping potions. Using explosive pot to just get just enough damage on the minions. Now he's looking at another huge hand of cards, deciding what to burn, what to keep, how to get Clash online properly.
Yeah, this sort of deliberacy in a boss fight is what really separates the good clad players from the rest.
Yeah, if you're going to slow down and take time in your run, a boss fight is a great, like, only for a little bit of your run, that is, a boss fight would be the right pick for where to put that additional effort. There's such important combats. Test of not only how did you construct your deck up to this point, but how can you pilot your deck to successfully defeat the particular opponent before you.
Yeah. It looks like JMac got through the worst of it here. I believe he's just determining who's to send the body slam on. Obviously,
Yeah,
want to kill the front first to avoid weak, but man, is that overkill?
Yeah,
That
since the
negates some of
impervious
the
full
damage.
blocks, you might want to send the body slam into the rear here.
Yeah. I don't think being weak is
Nah.
gonna
Yeah,
help
exactly.
it.
I think the weaken is the difference maker. I agree.
Freaking weekend. Oh, look at that draw pile. Yeah, we're just gonna take the 5 there for that offering. That's fair. We out of there.
Okay, JMac finally gets their own dream catcher.
JMac's excited. He saw his wiggle there. He likes that shockwave. Who wouldn't?
Yeah, Shockwave, good card.
Yeah, we need some strip into
Like
automaton. You know,
one of the
helps to
highest
kill the
pick rate
babies.
cards for clad players. I feel like.
It's kind of looking at that fire versus combat here. Is he trying to roll for some potions or what? I mean, that would be pretty sweet.
Sometimes fires are deceptively underwhelming nodes. You can get a lot, like, in a rest site, you can convert an unupgraded card into an upgraded card, but at a combat, you can just get a new upgraded card to add to your deck.
Yeah.
Oh, clicking the T set plus the lantern, the Giga Turn 1 energy build is online.
Yep, he didn't see it in his chest there, so it looks like he's gonna have to find blue key elsewhere. Unlike Terrence.
So yeah, and neither player's boss fight seeming like it's make or break just yet. Both bosses sitting pretty much full health.
You're loving the synchronization still between Panacea and Terrence. They've been neck and neck.
Yeah, and very similar decks from both of them. Same kind of core idea happening. Second Wind, Dark Embrace.
Eat.
Panacea's feed value on full display. Panacea's got 106 max health actually. It's pretty huge. And now a much better looking Fiendfire. What is this? Shrug into Rampage into Fiendfire? I think this Rampage might win the fight.
That's the 12x2. Which when is this Hyper Beam coming up? I guess it's probably what, like 4 more turns for Panacea.
2 more turns.
Oh my goodness.
Next turn's buff turn, then Hyper Beam. It's coming quick.
And the babies are still around. Oh man. I hope he gets a good draw next turn.
Yeah, as Chad is saying, if second wind Dark Embrace, Feel No Pain doesn't do any damage, not without a body slam in the deck. And so, although the block engine's good, that's what I was talking about earlier. The damage engine is really not online for defeating an act boss here for either Terrence or Panacea. And so they're going to have to get creative if they want to beat the Bronze Automaton.
They got some pots in the pocket.
Worth noting that Terrence still has the Entropic Brew.
Yes, lots of preserved value. Terrence is now actually looking at the Hyper Beam, which is looking like it's really going to hurt. Unless there's a second wind in the immediate future here.
God, there is. Either Pommel hits it or Potion does, but hopefully we won't have to come to that. It makes sense. Looks like he's really culled down to a nice tight deck here.
Yeah. J-Mac ponders the treasure chest for a moment, cracks it open, gets a Writhe. Different curse than Terrence got.
Much better. Not thrilling with his energy relics on turn 1, but...
No, that is not good with the with the turn 1 energy build. You're right. Okay, Terrence does send the Distilled Chaos to get the second wind. Blocks for 55. And draws loads of anger cards magically. That's kind of fun. Redrew the second wind that got played by the Distilled Chaos. That was weird. Or no, there's 2 second winds, right? Yeah. Okay. And then does drink the Entropic, revealing another Entropic. Oh yeah, easy game.
This is first Hyper Beam. He's still not even half dead, but he's culled down quite a bit. And you know what? Maybe he can just like stick around for a while. I mean, power through second wind, like sheesh, with that Dark Embrace.
Speaking of culling, Panacea is looking at a gigantic Fiendfire and thinking about deleting his entire deck.
Oh.
On the orb? No, don't. What are you doing?
That's so. This is cruelty.
This is cringe. What are you doing? You can't do this.
The poor orb.
This is cruelty to orbs.
He sends it.
Oh, he does it.
Oh, look at this loop here.
Unethical. And yes,
Rampage.
and this was exactly what I was talking about. Just shrug, Flash of Steel, Rampage.
Yeah.
This either wins or it doesn't.
Surely, I mean, he's in the damn meat grinder here. So much damage per turn. He's got the health for it.
Screen that maybe.
Yeah, why not? Let's.
Terrence is meanwhile doing like Havoc Anger as a strategy. Also looking like in a bit of a tough spot.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, let's let Panacea do his math. Let's look at the other one, or some multi-stream.
Yeah, so here's Terrence's position.
Uh-oh.
Looks like Terrence already survived Hyper Beam. Yes.
I guess Terrence unfortunately had to send an anger earlier on in the fight, and surely for good reason. Is Panacea still doing math? Sheesh. He's thorough. You know, he's
oh, he good chose the Rampage there finally.
Yep.
J-Mac meanwhile really struggling against Avocado Rat. Looks like that curse turn 1 really messed with that combat. Look at that Rampage. 64 damage Rampage. It's a mighty Rampage. That just wins clean, right? Rampage, Flash of Steel, Rampage. That's all it takes.
We have Terrence here. You know, these angers still sticking around here.
Goes for the block line. Okay, that's smart actually.
Opening the
but yeah, Panacea has it with the Rampage. So how's Terrence gonna do? Looks like a
Oh,
Clash
check
Anger
out
endgame.
Panacea. We got some rare cards.
Oh yeah, Brutality, Bludgeon, and Offering. Another Offering. And we see the boss relics
Ooh.
are Cube, Sozu, Black Star. I'm taking Cube 100% of the time here.
We're
At
calling
least in
this
Panacea spot.
the fattest cube of 2026.
That's a
We love
really
it.
good Runic Cube. And yeah, he decides to go with that. Good pick. Terrence looks like is also just going to barely prevail in the Bronze Automaton fight. Goes down to critically low health, but does hang in there and gets the W.
See,
So
in a
Terrence
similar
also
position
prevailing. Feeling a much less decisive win because Terrence does not have Rampage. Totally different cards here. Double tap, Fiend Fire, Demon Form. Goes for the Fiend Fire, looks like. Yep. Very reasonable choice, given the current deck.
checks out.
That's lots of ways to delete the deck. Terrence is still missing. Panacea has the almighty Rampage, but Terrence doesn't have any card to like distill the deck down to win with yet. Other than maybe, I guess, well, there's Power Through Second Wind. That's good enough, yeah?
And
Yeah, that's
maybe
good enough,
Strike
actually.
Pot into late game might be pretty dope. Or is the power through second one just that strong?
It won't kill the boss, but it will basically block everything forever, which is quite nice.
Yeah. He's staring down
Oh.
that cube as well.
Wait, when did JMac get Wing Boots? Hold on, that's a very big difference. That's interesting. JMac definitely feels like they've got the most unique run going on here.
Yeah, his relic bar is relatively larger for his position, certainly.
Yeah, and again, with Impervious and Body Slam, got a rather different style of deck.
Not a whole lot of upgrades in his deck. He's a true dig enjoyer. Shit. Fantasy cheating? Just kidding. Yeah. Funny how synced they are again. Yeah.
Gaming command.
Terrence and Panacea both on their first node. You alright, Panacea? What's up?
I think Panacea is probably just taking a quick little break.
Yeah, that's a AFK sign to me. That's my interpretation. Going to the little Spire players room.
Yeah,
to
dude's got
refresh.
like 2 hours, 15 minutes, maybe even more. So yeah, he's chilling here. This late game shouldn't take that long to think about. JMac in this Gremlin leader is always a fun fight to watch. It could be so polarizing. Sometimes leader's just in a bad mood. We'll see
Oh yeah.
JMac.
If leader wants you dead, you're gonna have a bad time, guaranteed.
You're at the whim. Some body slammery on the table, perhaps.
Yeah, it's hard to know whether you want to turn that impervious into damage right now or wait to use it as block later. Tough call.
I think it's
Shows the
fair to say
damage.
that JMac is in the worst position of the three.
Yeah.
And yet, I feel like the deck has the most endgame potential. Wait, is that true? Not necessarily.
Yeah, I mean,
most endgame damage potential. I should maybe coach that phrase or condition that. Put an asterisk in what I'm saying.
Look at this Gremlin lineup here. Now we got he's
Double Wizard.
Forcing out the explosive potion here.
That's a little, yeah, definitely. I'd be eager to reduce the numbers I'm facing down in that position. Yikes.
Shockwave's a great hit though here, especially for the weekend and the following turns too. The leader gets nasty.
Terrence rolls into a shop, unable to remove the normality, unable to buy Brimstone, sadly.
Ooh.
Wonder if anyone will be bold enough to choose Brimstone as their way to do endgame damage. Can be a surprisingly nice Act 3 pickup. I feel like. Pretty
Really,
niche, but
it's definitely my blind spot, brimstone type stuff. I guess it's
speaking of
like what
angry Gremlin leader, JMac getting slapped again here by the leader. Looking like things are a bit desperate.
How do you know when to act 3 brimstone? Is it like when you have like decent block scaling sort of thing? And you just
Yeah, it's
use
for
everything
me.
else?
It's a sign. I want like feel no pain and or dark embrace. Especially I want disarm. If I've got disarm, I'm feeling pretty good about
Excellent point.
taking the brimstone.
JMac makes it out alive. Just got
Okay,
tiny
yeah.
chest with cursed keys. Is that even positive?
You know, I would
Yeesh.
scrutinize the map and determine whether I'm taking 4 events and skip it regardless. Actually, now that I think about it, it doesn't do anything.
That seemed like an autopilot click to me. I don't know.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the nerves could be high. We're playing
With
live
wing
here.
boots, it's
High
unlikely to
stakes.
be punished. At least.
Yeah, it's one of those
JMac
things where
also picks it up.
it's like objectively
yeah.
incorrect to take it, but it also will never matter. So never punished.
Yeah.
Never punished, indeed.
Makes the bar bigger. You got to keep his relic lead. Just wondering what to do into this boss fight. He's evaluating his automaton. We saw the other 2 players do a big struggle here.
Yeah, Terrence seems to be using his face as the spiker solution. That's concerning.
Wow, look at that dark embrace.
Oh, dreaming a dark embrace for JMac.
Does open up some
Wow.
kind of loopy business with a body slam, perhaps. Oh man, look at this draw where he's floating 7 energy. Oh my goodness.
Brutal. Yeah, that ride is quite brutal. That's part of the reason JMac's kind of behind, is that the JMac actually genuinely got a worse curse than Terrence did. Notably, though, JMac is the only player with the green key at the moment, so JMac has free pathing in Act 3, where the other players do not. And that could be huge. The other players must contend with a burning, potentially Reptomancer, or maybe the Giga Giant Head, the 625 health monstrosity that has ended many a run. That guy, especially for runs that are struggling with damage, Giant Head can come out of left field and just crush you.
Yeah, but like, okay, hold on. Look at JMac's deck right now. Like, how does he win this fight? Because he has no power through. He has no like rampage for scaling damage. No strength at all. This is I don't
No,
know.
I think you might be right. This could be our first
No
loss.
entropic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no entropic.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like I mean, I wouldn't put it past him to pull a rabbit out of a hat here, but it's looking very dire.
Maybe a liquid body slam is like his best bet, if anything.
Yeah, you mentioned that Zeknar lost this seed. It's very easy to imagine that Zeknar might have taken a path that saw cards like JMac did, and therefore did not assemble a damage plan for Automaton. Because JMac did go out of his way to get more relics, fight more elites. And what did that get him? Wing Boots, Tiny Chest. And I guess Akabeko for 8 free damage.
Yeah. How are you feeling, Chad? Are you feeling optimistic? Do you think place your bets here? You think he's gonna get through this boss?
Yeah, I'll make that a prediction on my channel. That sounds fun.
JMac equals Zek? Yeah, maybe so. Maybe he took the same path and it's because he's the up and coming Zek, yeah. JMac Giga dead, says Bishop. I think it's more likely than not, but I think there's a draw order. Maybe there's like yeah, so one of the babies is holding offering. Maybe you like strategically kill the baby on the right turn and do like a fat double slam turn.
There might be a way.
Yeah. There's like a dark embrace to maybe play slam like a 3rd time.
My chat overwhelmingly against the idea that JMac could win, but maybe a few lucky individuals could earn some serious points by betting on the the long play.
Somebody's got to suffer too.
Did
Maybe
somebody just pick up a ferry? Did I see that right?
Ooh.
Oh yeah, Panacea just bought a ferry.
Panacea.
That's a good move when you're huge. I think because of the feed scaling, Panacea seems to be in the strongest overall position. Especially now that they have Exhume, which means they could eat 2 Spikers in one fight. Or 2 Jawworms. We see that's coming up too.
Yeah. Panacea and Terrence are both in position to win again. Maybe it could be another Terrence tie, you know?
Yeah.
It's like 2 half wins, it makes like 1 full, maybe. I don't know the math on that. Someone's got to.
A good question here from my chat, actually. Do we have a tie-breaking metric? Like, if all 3 players win, then who determines who won the best? Is it first to win or
the
high
answer
score?
is it doesn't matter. We're
Doesn't
not
matter.
really doing this for winners beyond bragging rights
All right,
and
they-
as a showcase of Spire talent.
Got it. They rejoice in a shared victory, is the phrasing I saw a board game use once, and I like it.
I think we all win because we get to see high level Spire.
Yeah, we deserve it.
Yeah, we all
raised
win.
2,500 for charity. Shout out Spire players and watchers.
Karen's looking at 3 colorless card here with the sensory stone. This can always be a run transforming moment. Dark Shackle's pretty sweet. Hand of Greed versus Transmutation. Yeah, it does take the shackles. Panic Button also pretty good. Trip can do work, but not when you have Double Bash. Not even that good at Panic Button, actually.
How many elites are we looking at here? Yeah, Terrence luckily has this blue key, so there's no forced extra curse. It's looking hot. We see, has JMac made any progress here? Well, not too much deeper into the fight. Yeah, he feels intimidated here.
Okay, Terrence rolling up to Reptomancer. It's definitely an intimidating moment.
Terrifying.
Staring down the double daggers, looking at not much turn 1 except for Dark Embrace in hand. I think in Terrence's position, I play Dark Embrace and 1 defend, and then take a little bit of damage to draw a card with the cube here. But maybe he's thinking about potion or something already.
You ever like Dark Embrace Shackles middle so that you still get the cube draw and you can see an extra card this turn?
Oh, Shackles Repto to see 1 more card? Yeah, that's a valid line.
Yeah, Shackles
the problem-
on the reshuffle, I don't know, I just want to get through the cycle.
Yeah, but what if you top deck Offering, though?
Oh.
You have Normality in hand.
It could be 1 card down or 7 cards down. I think it's probably still
I
got
guess you
good
have
odds.
I guess you have Gambler's Brew if you top deck Offering or something. There's ways to respond.
Must be what he's thinking about. He's taking this fight serious. Repto
Yeah,
keeps
so is
getting
JMac
polarizing.
taking the Bronze Automaton serious and really having a big think here about what to do. Yeah, JMac realizing he's screwed, says chat.
Oh, yeah.
Extremely understandable.
But is he going to win the staring contest with the automaton?
He can just sit here for the next hour and a half if he wants to. Stare at the automaton doing 12 by 2, just chilling, vibing. Oh, playing cards. Big second win turn. Is it going to be enough though? I don't see how this actually does anything ultimately. A very core problem. Oh, Terrence does use the Gambler's Brew against Repto. Draws an equally miserable hand, it feels like, but at least one without normality in it. Sends the Havoc hit to Sender's Bane. Oh, buh. Terrible.
Another chance for Clash to play here.
And this is max health Repto, too. Those first 2 daggers have 26 and 29 health, which means they are not easy to dispatch. But Clash is here,
Yeah.
our savior.
Love to see it. A lot of damage coming in next turn here. We got 2 offerings in the draw pile. I think things are looking a little promising. Letting cube. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was calculating a few breakpoints there, huh? He hit the higher health one. He's got something in mind.
It's the scary turn.
Yeah.
A turn that has ended many a run. But all the good cards are here. You know, Bloodletting, Shockwave, Fiendfire. Seems like Terrence has a lot of choices here.
Yeah, gotta be careful with the reshuffle. Is I believe the normality's still in there. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh my goodness.
Yes. Normality is still around.
Otherwise, you can cycle that thing around like a mofo.
Yeah, so you can't just blindly play the Fiendfire, right? Because you will redraw the normality and then your turn is over. That's tough. That's really tough.
Yeah. And Shockwave really does it all. We got the Vaughn, got the weak. Oh yeah, he's looking at that normality. Oh. Hey, Shockwave. I guess it couldn't draw the normality. We haven't reshuffled yet. Yeah. What do you think's going through his head?
I think he's just thinking about the right order to do this in. Something like you can Shockwave, Carnage, One Dagger. With 9 energy, there's a wealth of possibilities here as to what to do. And not all of them involve drawing too many cards.
Yeah. Would love to see the headbutt. It's the next card. Otherwise, it's hard to draw exactly one more card. And he didn't see it. Ugh.
Yeah, so now the Pommel Strike is a risk.
Yeah. He should be good. Look at that output, though. So much energy. Oh my goodness.
All right, here's the Hyper Beam turn for JMac. Is this the end? Sure looks like it.
Oh.
Throws the Explosive Pot, gets a Pommel Strike, plays it hoping for something, but there seems to be no answer here. Death is imminent. The mouse is flailing. Yep, it's over. We have our first death, it looks like.
Bailey's chat, you're right. Ugh.
And this was also the end that Zeknar met when he attempted the seed. So it's a noble end to the automaton here. GG to JMac.
That was a good try. Yeah. Shout out JMac. He's his Twitch is at the top before we basically never go back to his perspective. Yeah, check out that QR code. You can give him a follow. Because we got a high production value today. This is the real stuff.
Yeah, that's true actually.
That's all Asuki. Asuki, can we see about getting JMac in here for a little debrief?
Yeah, if you guys well when he comes back to Discord at least.
Why not? That sounds awesome. Yeah.
A break immediately at this moment would be very reasonable.
I'm trying to remember. I feel like he had some interesting decisions I want to ask him. I'm gonna have to think about it.
Let me make sure I have JMac's channel correct here.
Terrence doing a very explosive turn into Repto. Fiendfire last card, so the normality draw, we chilling. We beat some shit, but I don't know, he'll be fine. Come on, guys, he'll be fine. What does this deck even do when it can't cycle? The normality has just never landed with the second one this whole time.
That's tough.
Yeah. No draw. Here's the second win. Yeah. No normality.
Terrence definitely done a lot of health here. Yeah, being stuck with the normality. What did Terrence buy instead of removing normality? Removed strike, right? Oh yeah, removed strike. That's right.
I guess
I'm not sure I can condone that behavior.
Was it the strike remove? Because it's kind of like getting more top end into the automaton. You think that was his fear? It's gotta be.
That's tough.
Yeah. Clash is never playing.
Yeah, and you can't even play the Bloodletting because it draws with Cube. This is spooky. Although, what he should do is Headbutt the top card, and then has freedom to draw one card.
Oh yeah,
That might be the
yeah, better
line.
stay winning. He's gonna risk the draw. Is he? Oh, check out Panacea is doing some colorless cards. Gotta mess with that.
Oh, I see. Cool.
So,
Yep. It's also
sees
seeing the
panic button,
Sensory
too.
Stone.
He grabs it instantly.
Panic Button, Dark Shackles, very reasonable take.
Oh yeah.
But will Panacea dig again? That is the question.
Ooh. A lot of the relic pool can become less relevant at this point. I'm like an early relic kind of believer. What kind of upgrades are we?
Yeah, the rest is increasingly appealing because of the huge max health and because of the Dreamcatcher, right? We're now at higher chance for upgraded cards from the card reward.
Yeah, that would
Panacea
be the
does play
main
with
pull of
controller.
that, wouldn't it? The be for the card because he doesn't need the health into the burning. I don't think. I think he's chilling.
Yeah, the health is more for like the whole act. You definitely don't need it right away.
Yeah.
It's more like, am I going to need this by the time I get to the Act 3 bosses?
I'm not sure if Panacea has ever specifically answered the controller question, but I know that some players, including myself, have considered using controller because it forces them to slow down.
Ooh.
It's also more ergonomic. So
yeah.
Like if you're clicking a mouse 12 hours a day, then it's better to do like 6 hours of mouse and 6 hours of controller if you're going to be on the computer all day.
Holy cow! Look at this explosive turn from Panacea. When he uses a huge
just let you guys know,
spells.
JMac is around whenever you want to debrief when there's a good opportunity.
Yeah, I'm down. What do you think, Bailey?
Yeah, we can bring him in right away.
He is here.
Hello, JMac.
Hey.
Can you guys hear?
Yeah.
No, that was I guess you can't dig. I don't know what the heck I'm supposed to do there. Yeah, I don't know, just a ton of energy every single turn. The ride was funny after the lantern floats like every single combat.
Yeah,
and the what's it called? GT set.
Yes, we saw you were floating too much energy there. That was tough.
Yeah.
We'll see. I guess you could just do the apparitions, but I didn't really want to play them. But even those,
I think you might have been the only person to see them.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Nobody else ended up with the apparitions. One of your opponents had to use a rampage to win the boss fight.
Oh, the Hexaghost?
No, the automaton. The automaton.
Yeah.
I don't think I was offered. No rampage. And that Farm Max had a bunch of relics, but they all just didn't really do anything.
We get run history cam on JMac's stream, please. Yeah.
You probably. I did have the liquid already. So you could have maybe done the apparitions with that in mind. But the plan was to just use the. I mean, I still don't have enough damage though anyway for the automaton. Even if I line up that impervious thing, I just draw. I die to the next multi-hit.
I forget. Did you get offered a demon form at any point?
I did at the end of Act 1.
Ah, yes.
Probably could have done that. It gives you enough damage. If I took the demon form and I probably would have done the apparitions then maybe you could do something.
Yeah, you have the slam with the
yeah, not a lot of options though, as you can see.
Where did the slam come in?
I think everybody did a really good job just getting past Hexaghost. That was actually a tough fight too.
No, it was. I didn't expect that. I thought I had plenty of resources for Act 2, and Act 2 was perfectly fine. I could have farmed 3, but I got extra relics by doing the fires with the digs. But yeah, the relics kind of did nothing. Maybe I could try going to the elite, but that's just like hindsight.
Yeah, so it's tough. Is there anything about this seed that you went in that you would have like? Did you treat it any differently from just like a organic random seed at all?
No, I just played normal.
Yeah. Any like? Did you have any like predictions about what you sort of expected them to put against you guys?
I mean, there's stuff you'd know, like that pyramid's not showing up at the end of Act 1. I knew the boss relics were going to be terrible, but no, I tried not to use any information like that. I tried just playing normal, and I guess this seed is just good enough to beat me.
Well, you died a similar death to this was a offline Zeknar one, and he died at the Act 2 boss. So you're following in his footsteps.
Yeah.
For this one.
Oh, really?
Maybe that's
Yep.
maybe an accolade. Find a good heuristic at least. I mean,
he didn't record that, right? No, I'm just kidding. I would like to see how he played that though.
Yeah.
I guess that version's really, since I had the liquid, I really should have thought about them more, because it wasn't out. But I just, even with it, I don't think it works, because I just don't have enough damage for the boss here at all. And there's no targeted exhaust. Was there ever True Grit here? Or there definitely wasn't Pact. I would have picked Pact anytime.
Somebody saw True Grit right before the boss. I don't think it was you though.
No,
right before Automaton.
If we get multi-stream, we just had a Panacea close out a big Repto fight.
Yes, but both the other players did get past Reptomancer just now.
Yeah, I don't want to take too much of it.
They're on the same pace.
Yeah, they've been neck and neck all
yeah,
game,
floor 41 and floor 42. They're very much neck and neck.
Yeah.
How did they get through the Automaton here?
So I think they took lines which were much more focused on the idea that they would never find scaling. And so they took less aggressive, definitively less aggressive paths than you. And in doing so, saw much better card quality.
Oh. I mean, that's okay. But I was always going to farm max, and I'm the Ironclad.
Yep.
So if I'm playing a regular run, that's always what I'm going to do.
Yep.
But this was very, very hard. So it was from Zeknar offline.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a lot of sense. This was a very even the Act 1 was very difficult. But I preserved tons of resources. I just I don't see with what I was doing. I don't. You could maybe do the apparition thing, but the damage is just not there.
Yeah, so like I said, Panacea was able to use Second Wind to get down to a deck of just, it was Shrug, Flash of Steel, Rampage. So just playing Rampage over and over again. And then Terrence had a full potion belt with an Entropic Brew, and then the Entropic Brew had another Entropic Brew. And that kind of
brute force the fight. An Entropic Brew? Because the potion should be the same, right, on the seat?
The Entropic Brew was in a shop. They both had
they bought it.
It was purchased for 100 gold.
This second shop, I guess maybe, did everybody go to this first shop? I guess maybe in a regular run, I wouldn't have gone to this first shop, and it was a lot stronger. The second shop was completely awful. So if you go to this shop in Act 2 instead, it's probably quite a lot better. The second shop is really terrible. The relics are Periapt, Juzu, Prismatic. And there's not even, I just bought Firepot liquid. Which is maybe, there was a Thunderclap. I considered it. So am I still on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you put in a really good effort. Very well played.
Yeah. Do you have any inspirations of how you play Clad? And what do you think? Do you have any hot takes or anything that separates you in terms of evaluations?
Nah, everybody just plays like me now. Nah, I'm just kidding. They no, not really, honestly. Well, other than Zeknar, of course, I've watched a shit ton. But that's the only player I've really watched that much in Clad, where I'm actually paying attention and trying to figure out what I should do. Otherwise, I don't really watch anybody else for those reasons.
True that.
I have been interested. Maybe I can't watch Nave that much. I would like to see how he does things differently. Because I remember there's something when I started streaming. I look at the card pick rates for top players sometimes. But I don't necessarily watch that many people. for like inspiration on how to play the Ironclad. I like how I play him. I just need to not make as many mistakes. This time though, I don't even know if I made that many mistakes. I like can't really. This is very, very hard. This is a very good seed.
It's hard to point to, like, you made different choices than some of the other players, which did lead to your downfall, namely pathing, but it's hard to point to that as a mistake per se, because it's one of those ephemeral things where you really can't know how the different choice is going to change things. So I really wouldn't call it a mistake per se, but it is the difference.
I think Terrence is dead, by the way.
On the first Merlathon seed for Ironclad, I remember, I don't know, Bailey, you didn't do this one, I don't think, but like almost everybody, or actually I think every single player who did one particular path died, and all the wins were with a 2-shot path, and every single person who went on the 1-shot path died. So it can make a huge difference.
Looks like
I don't know if I've ever lost and I just don't know what the mistake even was. But maybe somebody in chat knows something.
Yeah, did you notice any?
I really actually don't know.
Where do you think that was the diverging point? What? I don't think you missed anything. Yeah, honestly, like, yeah, it could just be like a butterfly effect kind of thing, nasty seed.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking, like, if anything, I think you were getting more out of the run than the other two. But we were talking about this before we went live, where, like, sometimes Inspire, like, more is less, and you make the mistakes, and it just doesn't work out.
Yeah, I do want to get back to the run. I see Terrence here fighting for his life here. So
finally the second win with the normality, at least.
Yeah, J-Mac, do you have any?
The Fiendfire and just wins. Okay, so not dead, but definitely limping. Potion belt looking mighty empty. Hit points looking awfully low. Relic bar looking very bad. Dex still has a normality in it. It's grim. There's a treasure chest up next floor, but he's not allowed to open it unless he gets another curse.
Goodness.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna bid J-Mac farewell. Thank you so much for doing this and for doing
Thank you for playing.
the debrief.
All right, thanks. See you guys.
Yeah, GG's.
Bye. So that was J-Mac. Give him a follow. He put up a good fight. He's on Twitch. Your Terrence kind of eyeballing some cards. You got a mean heavy blade on the screen.
Yeah, a very Act 3 card award for Clad. Like 3 useless common pieces of garbage that you don't want. Great.
So you have to